Welcome back to Sonic Generations 3DS. So now we're doing Mushroom Hill, the first stage that's different from the console version. Well, technically, I guess you can argue that the modern act of Casino Night is the first one, but yeah. Alright, so...
And the mushrooms dance.
Yeah, basically.
Nice. That is actually neat how they do it with the music.
Alright, as always, Nafumi Ataya's mixes are really good, like they are in the console version, so no problem here. Again, there you go. If you know your Mushroom Hill, you already know this layout, so there you go. That's basically it. There you go.
How has Sonic not got a concussion after banging his head on so many moves?
Well, I think it's because of the hardness of his spines.
How about this, Dwez? I'll answer you the way this game would. You know, Dwez? I don't know. I keep forgetting to ask. Yeah, basically. It's one of those things where, see, these particular levels mess with my muscle memory, because I'm used to playing these layouts with the physics of, you know, Yuji Nakazuchi physics, right? So the fact that the momentum doesn't work as well messes with my muscle memory, you know? Because half of my brain thinks, oh, layout from the classic games, so, and then
Yeah, that can happen.
Okay.
Apparently that's supposed to happen since they even have a boing sound effect. That being said, if this is really the same layout as it was in the original game, what do they put in place of the special stage rings?
They don't put anything, I think.
Well...
or maybe they put in an item box, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I guess the best assumption might be it's not exactly the same as the original in this case, since there are legit some places hidden for Sonic to get a special stage ring, and I assume that since those aren't a factor here, that they don't be there.
I guess, but it's still like 90+% the same stage still, though, so...
It'd be funny if they left those in there, and instead of the ring, you get something else. Like, what if it's like a surprise trap and there's a bunch of enemies in there? And again, that'd be more for like a Mega Man Generations.
Indeed. Alright, now time for some modern Mushroom Hill. Again, keeping up with the direction of the soundtrack, since it's a modern stage of a classic era stage, the music puts in a spin on it. In this case, Jun's guitar. Pretty much kind of like pretty much akin to what he did with his mix of Green Hill. So
how I interpret this version of the story is basically, what if Sonic Generations had the gaming budget equivalent of Superman 4, and it was meant to have a bigger one, but it got yanked at the last minute, and therefore a bunch of stuff that was supposed to be there isn't because they couldn't pay the actors or the crew and all that.
Again, I don't want to act like this is super cheap or half-assed, because no, I mean, okay, to be fair,
I
think the 3DS was barely a year old at this point, and I wonder if they were worried that if they put too much on the screen, the 3DS would blow up because they weren't fully aware of its technical capabilities.
To give them credit, there is a lot of stuff, like we're seeing perspective flips. The Sonic Generations 3DS game would actually have a lot of cool gimmicks you'd see on the 3DS, like characters going in and out of the foreground. Again, definitely more emphasized by the 3D. I do feel like, you know, again, I never played this, but I did see someone else playing it. I do think its experience is enhanced by using the stereoscopic 3D.
It clearly looks like they want you to use it quite a bit.
Yeah. So, again, I do feel like what this game is going for in the visual departments, they got down pat, and yeah, I'm gonna say this, it does seem Wow, I'm almost amazed that wasn't a bottomless pit. I am going to be honest, I do feel like it is a good enough evolution of what the Rush games, and by extension, Colors DS had going their visuals.
In terms of visuals, I don't know. I still prefer the way the Rush trilogy looks overall compared to this.
Keep in mind, I didn't say gameplay. I'm talking about. I'm just saying it feels like a 3D evolution of the visuals.
Like the
of
art
the
direction?
No, but I'm talking about the visuals
Yes.
too. But that's the thing. I'm talking about the art direction too. Like even in visuals, I think the Rush trilogy looks better. To be honest with you. Okay. Fuck.
Why did you go?
Well, there was a path to the left. I wanted to see what was there. You know, like.
And you died.
Yeah, Pedro, you didn't see the bottomless pit signs?
I did, but
It blends in with the background in this stage.
not just no. It's not so much that, but
I can see it just fine.
by the time I
You can see it.
yeah
Shut up.
yeah, but here's the thing, Driz. By the time I saw those show up, I'm already there. That's the thing. Like I was boosting, so
Well,
in that
hey,
case, you.
well,
in that
hey, people
case-
want. Well, hey, people want Sonic to be attributed to his roots, so there you are. It's got just as much trial and error gameplay as the classics.
I mean, granted, if it were me playing, I'd just use my reflexes and, back away from them moving there. Because the way the stuff works here is like, well, you can reverse Sonic's motion relatively simple enough with a boost, actually. Oh, hey, look! Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
This is reminiscent of Handcastle, actually.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
I'll give Dimps this. They did give Modern Sonic some pretty neat set pieces.
In the meantime, here it is, Jova. Yes, all of the classic mixes are done by Naofumi Hattai. I'm looking at the soundtrack booklet right now.
Very quick, since this level's over, I do like that they include the different aesthetics that were in that level when it was, in Sonic 3.
I remember this place too. All these mushrooms. It was,
Yeah, I remember it too. What the heck is going on?
I like how they have more of a recollection of this than Green Hill, even though, again, they go to Green Hill all the time.
Well,
They've been
This is
here
what the-
once.
Okay, to be fair, Shiroi, Sonic did think that Green Hill looked familiar. It was just Tails who said he didn't remember it.
Okay, if this is what the Japanese script was like, I'm actually kind of glad we got the Podtaf version.
well, remember, Debs, as you know, like the Japanese people speak a lot more dry. That's just how they are.
Yeah, I mean, you could associate Sonic the Hedgehog with a lot of things. Dry shouldn't be one of them.
All right. Well, that's the thing, Debs. Honestly, I will argue that neither version of this game's script is particularly great because it's just so full of nothing. All right, let's keep going. In the meantime, here it is, Jova. Reading the booklet right now. It says right here that Casino Night Act 2, remixed and sound produced by Jun Sonoe and Atsushi Sushi Kazugi. I don't know who this guy is. But basically, yeah. That's basically.
Alright, so I'm surprised it could render. I'm surprised the 3DS could render something like this.
Oh, this is not really. The 3DS had fucking Kid Icarus Uprising in it. Like the 3DS is capable of doing things quite more elaborate than this. I assure you.
And again, I think, like we've mentioned, this is one of the earlier 3DS titles.
Yep, that too.
Same year as Miracle Mask, if I recall correctly.
Well, in Japan, Miracle Mask came out in 2011 in Japan. It only came out in the West a year later.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Like, well, games that were released
Sure,
at
sure,
that time
sure.
used the technology on hand.
Launch game, yeah.
With the special stage, there was something I wanted to say, but I forgot what it was. The worst thing about Sonic Advance 2's special stages isn't just getting to them. It's how easy they are after you make all that effort.
Shiroi. After all that trouble, I'm at the very least glad that they didn't make the special stage a nightmare to go through, at least. Go on. Dot. Yeah, basically, instead of the original scene from the game, we get the picture version of it.
Why couldn't they, Surely they must have been able to put these on here.
Well,
Although again, it is an
they
early
Lost World
3DS game.
3DS.
So
Yeah, they did it.
Yeah. This is strictly because this is an early 3DS game before cutscenes were that realized on the handheld. Oh, it's just a mirror.
Everyone.
Take a good look at. Sorry, that's you. That's gone.
Take a good look at yourself, Sonic. I can't do my part.
No, that one's no. That voice is fine. Go with that.
Eggman!
It's the last look you'll get before I close your eyes forever. Oh!
What? The me in the mirrors? Hang on just a minute. Potential Michael Jackson reference.
Yes, you're telling Sonic to hang on.
Oh, he beat me to it.
Well, part of Sonic's original design idea is Michael Jackson related.
So-
that would be.
So yeah, unlike with the since the Death Egg robot is not in this version, go on.
Oh, welcome, Sonic. Allow me to introduce to you my masterpiece, Metal Sonic.
Yep.
There you
That's
go.
right. Instead of going straight to the egg boss, we start with the rival boss.
Yeah, unlike with the console version, the mirror scene leads us not into the Death Egg robot because the Death Egg robot is not in this game. Instead, we have a race against Metal Sonic.
These are essentially how the rival battles will be in this game.
Yep, basically. The thing about the rival battles, or rather rival races more like, is that, okay, let me put it this way. The modern ones, there's a specific angle you need to take. When it comes to, this is the only rival race you have with Classic Sonic, and basically just keep going and you'll eventually make it because it boils down to that. One thing that is, this you can tell it took a lot of cues from Sonic CD because every time you get ahead of any of your rivals, they immediately dish out their best attacks. So yeah, there you go. Ha.
And since for the actual game itself, I know it might surprise. Okay, maybe not the actual guys here, but for those in the audience, possibly, it might surprise you that I actually, in terms of remixes, I actually prefer the remix of the Japanese fee that we're hearing now to the US one. Although this game does have a bit of a benefit in as the original composer remixing it.
Yeah, nothing else, yeah.
And there we are, rank A.
Sure, that works. See, unlike Sonic Generations, unlike the console version, you actually have to try to get S ranks in this game. So.
And you get a new boss now.
Yes. Basically, the way the boss gates work is
new, but yeah.
the way you get the bosses work is a boss gate. You fight the first boss, you get the second boss. In this case, Big Arms. And now we get the best mix in the game.
Brought to you by Cash Cash.
Yes.
Yes. Let me check again, just to make sure.
It's Big Arms, not Big Arms.
Yeah, this remix is a freaking masterpiece. Let me just where was it? Oh, here we go. Remixed and sound produced by Cash Cash. The guitars are by June, of course. Yeah, and that's basically it.
Yeah, you see, Cash, these are the kinds of songs you go down to. No vocals at all.
Well, my thing with
That's why they auto-tune the fuck out of themselves.
No.
Can't sing.
No, trust me. I really like Cash Cash's music. They're great musicians. I just don't think they're particularly great singers.
I think that they sing just fine and
That
And again, you know, is it any surprise that people actually did like the soundtrack from Colors, which got remixed also, which, people apparently prefer the ultimate version on that. Thanks, Otani.
the remix of Supersonic Racing makes me sad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I like Reach for the Stars. I like Speak with Your Heart. I like their version of Escape from the City. But yeah, no, Supersonic Racing, don't care for that one.
There we are. Awesome track, but it didn't take that long for release of Pedro to beat. I'm not implying he sucks at it or anything. It's just, well, he's played this game and I haven't, so...
Go ahead. Hey, audience, do you know what's going on? Oh well, that's Eggman for you. Seriously, seriously, classic Sonic's pose there just feels like it came out of a fucking sitcom.
Well, I mean, he wasn't a sitcom. Oh no, a PNG!
A PNG! Run away!
What?
Run away!
No! Sonic! Save me! Save me from the picture! Whoa!
Oh no, the picture ate Eggman!
Oh my god. They have
really
the
is
other
super-
enemy on screen. Why couldn't they have the tiny on
This
screen?
really is Superman 4. You have to get pictures of me.
I can't believe there's still a me.
Alright. Hey audience, can you answer what exactly is going on here? Seriously, that pose is just like
I don't have a clue. I'm not doing Julian White because,
Don't worry.
with respect to the actual guy himself, I don't like his voice much.
Alright,
I mean, let's be honest.
Go ahead.
I'd be the one doing the Julia White anyway if we spoke. And to have tails.
doubles of both of us. Places and enemies from our past.
I want it to be classic. So
We're traveling through time and space.
How did this happen?
I think it's got something to do with that big thing that just kidnapped Eggman. See, right now it's literally copy-pasted from the Pontac script. It sounds like the same thing that kidnapped you. I mean, me. I mean, you. You know what I mean. Like the... Yeah. Oh.
Earthquake.
Oh no, the picture is attacking again. There it is. Oh no, the picture just put something in a shelf or whatever. Where did it go?
We need to find that thing. And fast!
Liz, what the fuck are you doing over there?
Emergency measures.
Okay, can you mute please then?
Yeah,
It's done.
please.
It's done.
I got this.
Leave this to me.
What is that?
It's an enemy.
Oh, it was an enemy.
Well, whatever it is, it's dead now.
Not
No,
done
it
yet.
isn't.
Basically, Sonic is teaching him the homing attack.
Oh, right.
Unfortunately, we cannot animate that, so just imagine it happening.
Hey,
That move's called a homing attack. Wanna give it a try?
Is it, Sonic? All I saw was just you going back and forth.
You got
I
contacts
can-
in the future,
yeah.
Sonic.
I can do that too!
Hey, not bad at all. Okay, if you'll
Musical
recall,
notes.
it's hard to believe it's your first time trying it. If you'll recall, in the console version, he does try doing that, but fails at the end. It's something you unlock as a bonus feature. Here, it's actually added in the story.
Yeah. Basically, this is something that... Yeah, go ahead.
Whoa! What? Oh boy, I'm a bit of a hothead.
In the console
Wait a minute.
in the console version, Classic Sonic's homing attack is unlocked after completing the story, whereas in here it just unlocked it now after that cutscene. I mean, I'm okay with the homing attack being a bonus that's just there for the sake of for the lulz. My thinking with that is that from this point on, the classic stages will be designed with the homing attack in mind. And personally, I think like okay, see, the reason the homing attack was invented to begin with was to make hitting enemies easier in 3D. Trying to design classic gameplay with the homing attack in mind to me feels kind of pointless. Like the homing attack doesn't really have a purpose in this kind of Sonic gameplay.
My personal take is that the issue with giving Classic Sonic the homing attack earlier on is that it also makes him in Modern Sonic feel the more homogeneous.
Alright, once again, since this is a classic remix of a modern Sonic stage, it's the classic mix that puts more of a different spin on it.
It doesn't sound that different from the original.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, honestly, this
I'm
does
gu-
sound a lot like the original.
I'm guessing the composer. Well, I can assure you that the modern version is even more similar. Let me see. Let me take a look at who composed this one. Emerald Coast Act 1 was composed by Jun Sonoe, the original composer, obviously. Whereas Act 2 was also... oh, there you go, that explains it, Whips. Both acts were composed by and remixed by Jun Sonoe himself, so I guess... maybe we could have gotten I feel like it would have been better to get Naofumi Ataya to put his own spin on this track, but I guess...
maybe the second one will have more of a spin, because, yeah, no, this sounds pretty similar to the original.
I feel like it would have been...
I'm not gonna complain, honestly.
I don't know, I'm not gonna complain either, it's just that I feel like it would have been more fun and more consistent with the rest of the soundtrack to have
considering everything else we've heard up till now.
to have Naofumi Ataya put his own spin on this track. So yeah, the whale thing now is in 2D. Moving on. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm starting to realize why they had to steal the special stage layouts from them, because the actual original classic layouts for this game, they're not particularly great. They're very Sonic 4-ish. They're very bland and very hold forward to win.
Which is weird, because the modern Sonic stages are arguably...
I get the feeling Dibs was not particularly enthusiastic about imitating this and would much rather work on a... remember, Rush 3 got turned into Colors DS, so I get the feeling they really just wanted to make more Rush.
I mean, again, though, we've seen that they can do classic gameplay with the advanced games.
I get the feeling Rush was like their chance to put their own original spin on Sonic stuff, and going back to this was something that they were not particularly enthusiastic about. That's my theory. Because remember, considering the level design is not particularly great in the original stuff, and the fact that the classic stages reuse outright copy-pasted level layouts, it does seem to me that the developers, basically, the classic part of this game, they just rushed through it to get out of the way so they can get back to making the modern part. That was clearly something that we're probably more invested in making. That's my take. Alright, now the modern stage. Shiroi, what's your experience with this game?
I played it. I enjoyed it. I don't really have any strong opinions on it, honestly.
Nobody does, Shiroi.
Aside from the one complaint of, the stage is not...
okay, sorry, I just realized
aside
something.
from the complaint that everyone has about them not sticking to exclusively handheld stage levels, that's it. This was fine. It was enjoyable. That was it.
Go on,
Okay,
Jova.
I notice now what they're doing different from modern ones. You know that second part of the Emerald Coast tune?
Yes.
That's what modern's remixing. It seems like, Act 1 was for the first half of Emerald Coast tune, and modern is remixing, that other section of it, the one that starts with D.
I guess.
It's like Seaside Hill and Ocean Palace
Yeah,
in the
in console
PS3 version or whatever.
Console version. Or the let's go with it's on PC as well, so we'll call it the HD version. Yeah, that's basically it.
Again, I'll give them credit. The modern stages are pretty neat, especially with their 2.5D approach.
They feel a lot,
giving it more of a bigger scale.
They feel a lot like Sonic Rush Adventures level designs, which is fine, but I prefer Colors DS's level designs. I feel like that was the one that got the better balance of platforming and speed.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say you actually prefer Rush over Rush Adventures level design.
Well, that's the thing, Jova. I'm actually one that I'm not particularly enthusiastic about the level design in the first Rush, because I feel like it suffers from the same problem I have with the level design of Sonic Unleashed, and by that I mean the HD version, where there's a lot of that trial and error mentality to the level design, where if you boost all the way through and you don't know the level out ahead of you, you're going to fall into a lot of sucker punch traps and stuff like that. So
I know that's why I honestly would have been surprised if you said you liked Rush more than Rush Adventures level design.
Well, no. I prefer. Okay, let me put it this way. I like Sonic Rush better as a package, because I don't really care for Rush Adventures' method of padding and boat shit. That doesn't really. All it does is really bog down the game, in my opinion. I like Sonic Rush better as a package, like as a whole. But yeah, I do prefer the level designs on Rush Adventure because they're much more easier to get through and much more enjoyable. Because my problem with the level design in Rush 1 and Sonic Unleashed HD is that they resolve way too much on trial and error. Because I think Alex is the one who put it best in when she gets started in Roger's show, where she said, and she's a game designer even, so she even can talk about this from the perspective of the business in the way they get taught in classes. But I'll continue my argument after this because we're getting back a cutscene right now, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you can play the special stage now. I think we're gonna get a cutscene now, aren't we? Oh, never mind. But yeah, much like what Alex says, my problem with both Rush 1 and Unleashed HD is that the game gives you this ability, the boost ability that gives you that, you know, that rush of dopamine that like gives you a really rush of adrenaline that makes you want to keep boosting. But then if you do that, the level design will punish you with traps and shit like that. So there's that kind of thing where let me put it this way: compare the level designs to Unleash HD to the level design of Generations HD. The level design of Generations HD is immensely superior because while it does allow for a lot of boost spectacle, it's done in a way that is far better in terms of adding substance instead of just putting spike traps just as you go fast. Like, I feel like it's one of those things where they were still figuring out the whole boost thing, and which fortunately they did iron out by the time we got to Generations. So it's one of those things.
Colors, I feel, was definitely the sign that they had.
Yeah, Colors DS is the best of the 2D Rush games, in my opinion.
Oh, here's another difference in these special stages compared to the ones in Heroes.
Go on.
In Heroes, the bombs just slow you down a lot. Here, they flat out stop you dead in your tracks.
Yep.
Which makes sense given how the stage acts in this game.
And there we go.
Got it.
Four enemies. There you are, an A rank. Although, didn't you say earlier in this version, you actually have to put in effort to get high ranks?
Compared to the HD version, definitely, because the HD version practically gives you S rank, the S rank. Like as long as you don't die a single time, you'll get the S rank. It's pretty much guaranteed.
Alright, so join us in the next part where we go on to SA2's level representation in this game.
Particle Highway, yeah. Alright, see you for the next part, everybody.
See ya.